Remember what it was like to be a kid? To explore and play. To roam free all day. In Jamestown, North Carolina, we get out of the grind and escape into the moment. People feel good here. Let loose here. Eat well here. Feel swell here. We go for a ride or an afternoon stroll. We cheer each other on. And go for the goal. Here, a treasured history meets the energy of a town on the rise. In a place with true heart and soul, and where we have our own special beat. Jamestown, North Carolina, where history and possibility meet.
Welcome to the November 12th, 2024 Planning Board meeting. In order to allow all attendees to be able to hear board business, I would ask that at this time, members of the board and the audience, please set your cell phones to silent. As a reminder, there will be an opportunity for the public to address the board during the public comment portion of the agenda. Speakers during that portion of the meeting will be limited to 3 minutes per speaker and were requested to sign up with the town clerk. Thank you. Katie, roll call.
Yes, Denise Johnson.
Here.
Hope Ing.
Present.
John Capes is absent. Darlene Fetty.
Here.
Dennis Scholl is absent. Robert Kuhn is absent. Donald Dale.
Here.
Peggy Levi.
Here.
Sherry Richmond.
Here.
Eddie Oakley.
Here.
Bill McLean Jr.
Here.
And Councilmember Burgess is present. A quorum is present.
Thank you. All right, so first order of business is the approval of the minutes from the June 10th, 2024 meeting. Do I have a motion for approval?
I make a motion that we approve the minutes from June 10th, 2024.
And do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. All right, we're good then. All right, so next up, we'll call Jose.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good to see everyone. I've met most of you, and I believe I'm just meeting 2 of you today, but I'm super, super excited to be here and glad the board can get back together. I just want to provide an introductory presentation and get the chance to meet you all. I know it's been a while since we met, so I'll go ahead and get started. Today, we will cover just an introduction from me so you get to know me a bit more, planning board role and responsibilities, summary of feedback from planning board members, some topics for upcoming meetings, as well as time for questions and comments. Again, it's very nice to meet you all, and I appreciate all the time you've taken these past few weeks to meet me individually. My name is Jose Colon Rivera. I also just go by Jose Colon. I was born and raised in Puerto Rico, and I've been in North Carolina for over 25 years, but 15 years of those I've been in the Triad area. I am a UNCG alumni. I have a bachelor's degree in geography and studio art, double major, and I have a post-baccalaureate certificate in urban and economic development from UNCG as well. I have 12 years of local and regional planning experience with internships in Central Carolina Council of Governments, City of Greensboro, and full-time positions at Rockham County, Davidson County, City of Greensboro, and Piedmont Triad Regional Council. I also have certifications. AICP stands for American Institute of Certified Planners, and I'm also NZAZO certified, which is North Carolina Association of Zoning Officials. And I do have some keen interest in graphic design, community engagement, and comprehensive planning. Did want to show you a little bit of my previous work. I was the lead graphic designer for the GSO 2040 comp plan in my time in Greensboro, so that definitely saved some resources for the town. So anytime I can combine graphic design and planning, that's like a sweet spot for me. So I'm happy to have that talent to provide to the town. I also worked on other plans while I was at Piedmont Triad Regional Council, most recently the Northeast Randolph County Growth Management Plan. So it's just nice to not only advise on those policies and recommendations, but also lay out the look of the plan, which I think is very, very important for communication. Also have a keen interest in public engagement. This is just some events that I've been to. At PTRC, we had our first housing summit. That was a regional, 12-county region where we brought regional partners to talk about housing issues in the region. I've also added a steering committee from Pleasant Garden, as well as some public meetings that I've organized for land use planning updates on Town of Jonesville, Town of Liberty, and Randolph County. But enough about me. I want to talk about the planning board now, and just want to talk about the roles and responsibilities for the planning board. Just to start with, Number one, advisory role to town council. The planning board serves as an advisory role to the town council by providing recommendations on rezoning requests, special use permits, and other land use applications. You all will evaluate these applications based on their potential impacts to the community, alignment with Envision Jamestown, comprehensive plan, and adherence to our land development ordinance. Your recommendations play a crucial role in shaping the direction of development and ensuring our decisions reflect the town's priorities and values. Guidance on Envision Jamestown. And also, if you all do not have a copy of this document or need access to it, please email me so I can get you a printout or just an email format. A key responsibility of the planning board is ensuring that development aligns with the goals and policies outlined in the town's Envision Jamestown comprehensive plan. This means evaluating whether projects support the community's vision for future growth. And I think it's really, really important that every decision that we look, every application, we go back to this plan, since it is our guide for our community. Policy and ordinance input. The planning board also plays an essential role in keeping the town's zoning ordinances, land use policies, and development regulations up to date. This involves advising on necessary changes to reflect the evolving community needs, changes in state law, and new priorities identified in Envision Jamestown Comprehensive Plan. Also, public engagement and education. Planning board acts as a liaison between the community and town government, providing a platform for public input and promoting understanding of the planning process. So I all encourage you to voice your opinion when we do hear these applications rezoning, because your perspective might be very similar to what the community feels. So you're a voice to the members of our community. Long-range planning. The planning board also contributes to long-term initiatives and that shape the future of Jamestown. That includes developing small area plans and town-wide projects that can guide the town even further. So I just want to emphasize this document is very important, but we don't have to stop here. We can go back to this plan updated. Typically, we want to update plans 5 to 10 years, but we can come up with a small area plan and a different area plan in the town that we can focus a little bit further in terms of policies. Ensuring consistency with federal and state law. Another important role is ensuring that planning and development activities comply with North Carolina general statutes, as well as any relevant federal regulations. This involves staying informed about legal requirements and integrating them into our local policies. And last but not least, promoting orderly development. I think this was the most important part of what we do. Finally, the planning board is responsible for balancing opportunities for growth and development with preserving the character of the community and quality of life. This means encouraging projects that fit with the town's vision, but also addressing issues like traffic, infrastructure capacity, and environmental impacts. So I did talk to all of you, and one of my questions was, what brought you to planning board? What was your interest? You just appointed, or maybe you just have a really keen interest in development, but I just wanted you to see what all I've heard from you. And I found it very, very interesting because you all have a really varied approach. Like when you look at all that, I hope you see yourself in it, but also to see what your colleagues and your fellow planning board members also said. Housing, legal aspect, business community, small town charm, green infrastructure, tree preservation, public involvement, public safety, real estate, downtown Main Street, and development process. And I'm just very fortunate that you guys have such a varied approach and different perspectives to bring to the planning board. So just wanted you all to see that graphic, to see yourselves in it. Also, some feedback and suggestions that I received from you all is hold more planning board meetings. Revisit Envision Jamestown. So again, we need to update this plan every 5 to 10 years, but I think we also need to go back to the plan and establish what did we accomplish from the plan? What short and long-term policy should we focus on? So in the planning board meetings where we don't have items, I think it'll be very useful for us to go back to the comp plan and look at what we've done and what we need to do. From that, set goals and priorities, and then discuss any policy and ordinance changes, again, that are supported by the comp plan, and discuss any new planning efforts, such as small area plans or any town-wide efforts. Also, would like to incorporate training sessions and updates. So I'm currently working with the UNC School of Government to provide some updates for you, because I do want you to feel empowered to do your job and do what you do. And I know we have a lot of new planning board members, so I do want to provide as much resource as possible. And also, just an opportunity to get to know each other. We have a lot of new planning board members, so I do want you to build rapport with each other, so I think it's important. I'm not going to promise that we'll meet every month, but we're definitely not going to have 3 to 4 months without meeting. So I think it's important for us to meet at a frequent basis. And overall, improve communication and staying engaged. So I will work with you and figure out what that looks like, but just keeping you engaged when in the event that we don't meet. Just so I'll let you know what's going on. And last but not least, I just want to thank you for what you do. I know it's a difficult task, but each of you brings something valuable to the table, and I truly appreciate the perspectives and the ideas you shared with me. As we move forward, I'm here to support you and help make sure that we're tackling the challenges and opportunities ahead in a way that fits the vision in our community. And I'm looking forward seeing what we can accomplish together, and I'm always open for ideas and feedback, so please let me know if you have any concerns. And thanks again, and I'm excited to work with you. So I'll take any questions if you all have.
Are you going to go back to that list of things that you were going to go through?
Yes, let's see here.
Or are you talking about questions right now without going back to that?
Regarding the application or the presentation, if you have any questions or concerns, I'll try to bring it back 1 second.
I guess I'm the high-maintenance one.
We said entertaining, not high.
Oh, you said entertaining. I like that better.
Yeah.
I like what you said about orderly development, preserving quality and character. That's great. I think that during our meeting, I mentioned that I had found this someplace where the mission of the planning department is to provide education, and that was the first word. And I think that we could do a better job with that. Many of us get calls from members of the community wanting to know this, wanting to know that, and sometimes we don't know how to answer it. And so I think that we can focus on that a little bit better for our community. There are many things that we could also go back and look at ordinances. For example, lighting ordinance. I've talked about this before. When you have a neighbor with 7 spotlights on your house, more than most prisons have, I think we need to revisit some of those things. It's not very good for those neighbors. Setbacks, I think some of us have talked about setbacks in the future, looking at for apartments or other things, where you can put one car, and then if the car is too long, it's on the sidewalk. So, I mean, there are many things that we could go back and review that are important, important to the quality of life that you just said, the quality and character of life. And having the opportunity for us to meet and pick 2 or 3 things to review, to go through our ordinance on those particular special issues and focus on them, I think it would be really great. And also, if I have a perception about something, but we go through the ordinance and we look at what is really involved with it, then, you know, I might leave with a different opinion about it after that, after I learn something.
Right.
So you have some talented people here, some very willing people here, and I think we're eager to meet and make a difference.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Any other comments, concerns?
What avenue do we take to accomplish some of the things that you've said? Having education, are you talking about regular meetings or individual meetings, or?
I think a combination of both. I mean, I'm still open for briefings before meetings, and if we need to do briefings before trainings, that's fine too. But I think training as a group will be great. Again, bring in UNC School of Government professionals, and they also, the same group does online posts and where they cover different items. I think just even sharing those links with you via email, it just takes one click. So just so you have those resources available. So.
I guess we've all been down Mackey Road and seen what's changed in our atmosphere, and it's kind of an ugly picture walking down there now. So is there a time frame for them to put the berm up, to start to make the outlining of the areas that are under construction to look better during the process?
Gotcha.
I don't think that was ever discussed in anything that
Right.
I remember prior.
Yeah, given that this is a special meeting, we have a kind of a constricted time where we can talk about that, but we definitely talk about some concerns, and then we'll reach out to DR Horton regarding the development agreement. I appreciate it.
I think that's a time question, too. It's time important. You know, we don't want to see all of Guilford College, all those trees leveled, and have the same thing. If there's an opportunity to work with the developer to save some of that and incorporate it into a plan, a lot of people are very upset. And I think just stripping Guilford College Road would really not be good. I think we'd lose a lot of credibility, not just the planning board, but the council, the staff, Jamestown in particular, and I wouldn't want that.
I understand. Yeah.
One more thing. Told you I was high maintenance. She said entertaining. I'd like to compliment the code enforcer for Jamestown. A couple of times I've just kind of looking around at signage, and when you leave Jamestown, you see all these signs that Greensboro has right there on Hilltop and Piedmont. Is that the name of the other side? You've got 10 on this side and 8 on that side, and they've been there for months. Finally, I called Greensboro and told them that, you know, when you leave Jamestown, which doesn't have all of that stuff because someone is picking up all of those ugly signs, finally they did get rid of those on those 2 corners. So beware of Sherry, you know, with signage.
Gotcha. I appreciate that.
My compliments to whoever is doing that for Jamestown. You leave that stuff and you drive in, and it's just a lot better here.
Yeah, we'll definitely share those compliments. Thank you for sharing. Any other comments or concerns? All right.
Well, thank you.
Well, thank you again. I appreciate it, and your passion for this community is very obvious, and it's actually very contagious, and it's going to make my work very, very fulfilled. So I really, really appreciate the time you took to meet me, and I really look forward to working with you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
We certainly look
Welcome.
forward to working with you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Katie, are there any public comments?
Nobody signed up.
All right. I guess guess that takes care of all our business for tonight then. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved?
And is there a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. All right, we're done.
Make sure you tell them.